From the moment Adisa told his mother, Abike, that he was marrying Kemi, she felt a deep anger inside her. She had always imagined him marrying someone else, someone she picked, but now her son was choosing Kemi and it filled her with bitterness. As the sun set that evening, Abike sat in her darkened room, whispering words under her breath, calling upon the ancestors to curse the marriage. Let their love turn to ashes, she chanted. But little did she know, the curse she was crafting would turn on her in a way she could never imagine. A week after the wedding, strange things began to happen in the couple's home. Plates shattered without reason, doors slammed in the dead of the night, and whispers filled the air. Kemi felt uneasy but didn't tell Adisa, not wanting to worry him. Meanwhile, Adisa noticed that every night he thought about his mother, a cold chill ran down his spine. Abike, on the other hand, smiled to herself as she watched the dark clouds gather over her son's marriage. She believed the cause was working, but what she didn't realize was that with every day that passed, her health was slowly declining. It began with headaches that wouldn't go away, but Abike ignored them, too focused on destroying the couple. As the strange occurrences intensified, Kemi finally confided in Adisa. "Something is wrong, Adisa. I feel like there is a dark presence in our home," she whispered, her voice trembling. Adisa, though skeptical, could not deny the strange things happening around them. He decided to visit his mother, hoping she could offer advice. Little did he know she was the source of their troubles. When Adisa arrived at Abike's house, he was shocked to find her looking frail and weak. "Mother, are you sick?" he asked, concerned, but Abike brushed off his worries, her mind still focused on her cause. "It's nothing, my son. How is Kemi?" she asked, her voice trembling with false concern. Adisa felt a strange tension in the air, but he couldn't quite place it. That night, Kemi had a dream. She saw a dark figure standing over her, whispering curses into the wind. As she got closer, the figure turned and to her horror, it was Abike. Kemi woke up in a cold sweat, her heart pounding. The dream felt too real to be just a nightmare. She felt she had to confront Abike, but how could she accuse her husband's mother without causing more tension? The next morning, Kemi shared the dream with Adisa. He was silent for a moment, his mind racing. Could it be true? Could his own mother be behind the strange events? As the thought settled in, Adisa knew they had to get to the bottom of it. Together they decided to confront Abike, unaware that the real battle was just beginning. Adisa and Kemi arrived at Abike's house, tension thick in the air. Abike, sensing their arrival, prepared herself. "Mother," Adisa began, his voice steady but filled with a hint of accusation. Kemi had a dream. Kemi had a dream. She saw you, and she believes you have caused our marriage." The words hung in the air like a heavy weight. Abike's eyes flashed with anger. "How dare you accuse me of such a thing? I am your mother," she snapped. But deep down, fear crept into her heart. She could see the determination in Adisa's eyes. The cause was not only affecting Kemi and Adisa, it was starting to consume her too. As the days went by, Abike's condition worsened. She was now bedridden, unable to perform even the simplest task. Her once strong spirit was weakening. She began to hear voices, whispers of the ancestors, warning her of the curse she had cast. But her pride would not allow her to admit her wrongdoing. Meanwhile, Adisa and Kemi grew closer despite the strange happenings around them. Every time something odd occurred, they faced it together, their bond growing stronger. What was meant to break them apart was only bringing them closer. Abike, now isolated in her own misery, realized the curse had backfired. One evening, as Abike lay in bed, unable to move, she saw a shadow at the foot of her bed. The figure was tall and menacing. "Your cause has turned against you," the voice said, echoing through the room. "You have lost everything." Abike wanted to scream, but no sound came from her mouth. In that moment, Abike understood the curse was not meant for Kemi or Adisa. It had been cast on her, isolating her from the ones she loved. Tears streamed down her face as she realized the depth of her mistake. But was it too late to undo the damage she had caused? With no other choice, Abike sent word to Adisa, asking him to visit her immediately. When he and Kemi arrived, they found her frail and broken, a shadow of her former self. "I am sorry," Abike whispered, barely able to lift her head. "I was wrong. I caused your marriage, but the curse has turned against me." Adisa's heart broke seeing his mother in such a state. Kemi, though hot, stepped forward. "We can break this curse, but it starts with forgiveness," she said. Softly, in that moment, the air seemed to shift, as though the dark cloud that had hovered over them all was starting to lift. Kemi's words lingered in the air, her voice soft, offering a glimmer of hope. Abike looked at her daughter-in-law, her eyes filled with regret. "Forgiveness," she whispered, as if the word was foreign to her. She had spent so much time nurturing her anger that she had forgotten what peace felt like. But seeing the kindness in Kemi's eyes made her realize how wrong she had been. Adisa knelt beside his mother, taking her frail hand into his. "Mother, you must let go of this hate. It's destroying you and not us," he said, his voice firm but compassionate. For the first time in months, Abike felt the weight of her actions truly sinking. She nodded slowly, knowing that healing would only begin with an apology, something she hadn't allowed herself to give for years. As Abike lay in bed that night, she couldn't sleep. Memories of her late husband flashed before her eyes. He had he had died young, leaving her to raise Adisa on her own. She had poured all her love into her son, and when he chose Kemi without her approval, it felt like betrayal. But now she looked at her life, alone and sick. She realized that her actions had been driven by fear of losing him. She thought back to how the ancestors had warned her, how her own health had begun to fail the moment she caused the marriage. Her heart ached, not just from illness, but from the weight of years of bitterness. Could she truly undo what she had done? That night, as Abike drifted between sleep and wakefulness, she had a vision. The ancestors appeared to her in a misty haze, their faces stern but not without compassion. "Abike," one of the figures called, "you've called upon us with anger, and now you must ask for mercy. The course you set has only led to your own downfall." "How do I make things right?" Abike asked, her voice trembling. The ancestors spoke as one. "Seek forgiveness, not only from Adisa and Kemi, but also from the ancestors and from yourself. Only then will peace be restored." When she woke, Abike knew what she had to do, but would Adisa and Kemi truly forgive her? The next morning, Abike summoned the strength to leave her bed, determined to make amends. With trembling hands, she prepared a traditional offering as was custom when seeking the ancestors' forgiveness. As Adisa and Kemi arrived, they noticed the change in her demeanor. She looked tired, but there was a quiet resolve in her eyes. "I have wronged both of you," Abike began, her voice barely above a whisper. "I let my fear into hate, and in my selfishness I caused your marriage. I have suffered for it, and I deserve your anger." Adisa remained silent, but Kemi stepped forward, placing a hand on Abike's shoulder. "What matters is that you've realized your mistake. Healing takes time, but we will move forward," Kemi said softly. Adisa looked at his mother, torn between the pain of her betrayal and the love he still held for her. "I forgive you, mother," he said, his voice shaky but sincere. Abike's eyes filled with tears, the weight of her guilt slowly lifting. She hadn't realized how much she had needed her son's forgiveness until that moment. Kemi smiled softly at Adisa, proud of his strength. "We forgive you, but you must also forgive yourself, Abike," she added. Abike nodded, though the journey of self-forgiveness was one she wasn't sure how to begin. But with her son and daughter-in-law by her side, she felt a new sense of hope. The following day, the couple joined Abike in a traditional cleansing ceremony to lift the curse. They visited the village priest who guided them through the ritual as they made offerings to the ancestors. The air around them seemed to grow lighter. The oppressive feeling that had haunted them for weeks began to disappear. During the ritual, Abike whispered prayers for forgiveness and peace, feeling the heavy burden on her heart slowly release. Adisa and Kemi held hands, their bond unshaken despite all that they had been through. The curse, though powerful, had failed to break their love. With the ritual complete, Abike returned home with a newfound sense of clarity. She was still weak from the toll the curse had taken on her body, but her spirit felt lighter. "I never imagined I would see peace in this house again," she said quietly as Adisa helped her to sit down. "We've been through a lot, but we can heal," Kemi replied, her voice full of optimism. From that day forward, the couple worked with Abike to rebuild their relationship, one step at a time. There were still moments of tension, but they were all committed to healing together. The village began to notice the changes in Abike. The once proud woman, known for her fierce temper, now walked with humility. Many whispered about the strange happenings in her family, but Abike paid them no mind. For the first time in her life, she didn't care about what others thought. Instead, she focused on making things right with those she had wronged. She visited Kemi's family, offering a heartfelt apology for her actions. Though it wasn't easy, she knew that true healing required accountability. Despite the progress, Adisa began to feel the weight of the past hanging over him. While he had forgiven his mother, the memory of her betrayal lingered in his mind. There were nights when he couldn't shake the thought that she had caused his happiness. One evening, as he sat with Kemi, he voiced his concerns. "I know we've forgiven her, but sometimes I wonder if things will ever truly be the same," he admitted. Kemi, always the voice of reason, responded gently. "Healing is a process. We will have days of doubt, but we must keep moving forward." The couple's love continued to be tested as rumors spread in the village about their ordeal. Some believed the curse was still lurking, waiting for the right moment to strike again. Others said that Abike would never fully be trusted. Kemi and Adisa did their best to ignore the whispers, focusing instead on their bond. But deep down, Kemi couldn't help but wonder if the curse had left a permanent mark on their lives. One evening, she approached Abike and asked, "Do you think the curse is truly gone?" Abike looked at her with sad eyes and replied, "Only time will tell." In the months that followed, life slowly returned to normal for Adisa and Kemi. They began to laugh more, the shadow of the curse slowly fading from their minds. Abike too found peace in her new role as a more humbled and loving mother-in-law. She often helped Kemi around the house, doing small things to show her gratitude. One day, as they sat together in the shade of a large tree, Kemi said, "It feels like we've turned a new page, doesn't it?" Abike nodded, smiling softly. "I only wish I had realized this sooner," she replied. Though the curse had left scars, the love between the family members was growing stronger by the day. Just as the family thought they had left the worst behind, something unexpected happened. Abike began to have strange dreams again. This time, visions of a new cause. The dreams were vivid and terrifying, showing her a future where Adisa and Kemi faced even greater challenges. Fear gripped Abike's heart once more. Could the ancestors still be punishing her for her past mistakes? She didn't know how to tell Adisa and Kemi, fearing she would push them away again. One night, unable to bear the dreams any longer, Abike went to the village priest for guidance. The ancestors are not done with you, Abike, the priest warned. There is one last thing you must do to truly lift the curse. Abike's heart sank. What more could she possibly do? The priest handed her a small object wrapped in cloth. This talisman must be placed in the heart of the forest. Only then will the ancestors be at peace, and only then will your family truly be safe. Abike knew this task would not be easy. The forest was said to be cursed itself, and few who ventured there never returned. That's all we have for you today. If you want to have a part 2 of this particular story, let us know in the comment section. Do you love this video? If you love this video, drop the heart emoji in the comment section. Make sure you like this video, make sure you comment, make sure you share your thoughts on this video. What lessons did you learn? And make sure you share this video to your friends so that they will learn one or two to be kind to their mother-in-laws. Show love instead of returning the hate from in-laws. Okay, and then subscribe to our YouTube channel for more beautiful stories like this. Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.